What is up, everyone? Back from the dead. It's been quite a while. So, I've missed you all so much, and I thought I'd come back with my monthly review. I've been out of the game for like a month now. Had a little touch of pneumonia. So I got some of that, and have been on my deathbed for about a month. So that's where I've been, slowly dying. And this channel has been slowly dying in the process too. I just haven't been around, I've been too sick, I haven't been able to do anything. And it worked out anyway that I took a month off, I was sick for a month. And then the monthly review's here, so I guess it all works out in the end. So no big deal. So now I want to rebuild the channel. I want to get back into it, get back into the normal swing of things. Got some exciting things coming up. But first, the monthly review. And I would have actually started this a few days ago. I'm still sick to this day. I still feel like shit. But I'm well enough to do the video. But I would have done this earlier, but a lot of the boxes came extremely late this month. One of which including is the BAM box. It just showed up today. Today is May 16th when I'm recording this, and this is April's box showing up today, May 16th. So that and the Nerd Block came 2 days before that, which is a full month late as well, so it's actually not my fault. I'm actually quite on time this time around. So, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, hi, you may not have seen a video from me because I haven't done it an entire month. But the whole point of this video is to help you find the best monthly box for you, and whatever that may be. Now keep in mind that I've been slowly weeding boxes out over the past few years. So what I have here, in my opinion, is the best of the best. So with each video that comes along, the specific placement of each box gets less and less relevant because most of the bad boxes are already weeded out. So it's not super important the specific places, but more if it's in your interest. So don't get too caught up on the specific number of each box. It's just kind of an overall review of things. So one thing I wanted to get to was the giveaway, my little competitions that I do each month. So normally I have people post a link and then send it to me, and that's how you get entered in. For this giveaway, I didn't have time to go through all that stuff. I haven't gone through comments or anything. So for this giveaway, I'll make it short and sweet, and I'll do a short little competition. And I've wanted to do competitions for a while. I just could never come up with any, but I thought of one that we can do. So for the next week, so exactly 1 week from when this is posted, I'll have a competition going, and at the end of the week, I'll do a giveaway. Those of you who have sent me links already for last month's giveaway will be rolled over into the following month, and to be entered in the giveaway after that, post a link of this channel anywhere on social media, and then send me the link in a message or a comment, and then you'll get posted into the next giveaway. So that'll be in May's giveaway. But for this one, April's giveaway, what we'll do is all you have to do is post a comment and guess my birthday. And I think that's a fair thing, because I don't think I've ever actually shared my birthday with anyone on here, as far as I know. So if you happen to know, if you ask, please don't cheat. And don't do anything weird, and I've taken it off of social media, so nobody should know, so I think that should be fair for everyone. Just guess. Month, day, year. Throw it out there, doesn't matter what it is, and at the end of the week, I'll look at all of them. The closest one will win the giveaway. So that's how it's going to go. So just throw out a random date, use your best guess. If you want to look up information, I don't think my birthday is posted anywhere, but like I said, don't cheat or anything like that. But 1 week from the very second that this video is posted, that's when I'll update the information and I'll say who the winner is. So that's how it'll be. But in the following months, what I usually do is you just share a link of this video anywhere on social media and then send me a link of what you posted, and you'll be automatically entered in the giveaway. So that's after the following week ends, that'll go back to that, so give me links. Or if you want to do that now just to be entered in that and do this giveaway as well, you can do both, whatever's easiest for you. So without further ado, we'll jump right into it and start talking about these boxes. Now, this month wasn't so great. These are the boxes of April, by the way. Even though we're almost in June, it literally takes them that long to get here. So I was pretty disappointed in a lot of these boxes. They really weren't hitting home. And you know, the whole collecting community is kind of slowly in the decline right now. There's a lot less collectibles. Everything's losing value, so we're on the decline. It was really high up, and now we're slowly declining, so boxes are becoming less and less popular. They're not getting as much good stuff, so everyone's noticed it, and it's definitely something to take note of. But we'll just get into it. Alright, so we have 9 boxes, and number 9 this month is, heavy one, the Stanley box. So I've had mixed feelings about this. I was hoping they would get more and more exclusives in there, but they really haven't. All they've been doing is been giving 2 exclusive comic books, and their covers are exclusive. And they'll give a regular one and a black and white. So they'll give a color and a black and white variant of comic books, and that's pretty much the only exclusive thing, with the exception of the shirt. Shirts are always exclusive to boxes because it's cheaper, and the little information card they give you, but that's not really anything. We also got a little art print from the comic covers from Todd Knock, who I'm actually a really big fan of. I really like Todd Knock. I think he does really good work, and I've been looking for artwork of his. But the unfortunate thing about it is the artwork's not signed, and it's not numbered or anything like that. We also got a picture of Stan Lee from when he was on Incredible, I don't know if he was on the show, but he must have visited the sets of the Incredible Hulk with Thor there, which is a really cool picture if it were anything. Like, if they had it signed by either Stan or Lou Ferrigno or this random dude that played Thor, that would have been really cool. Or if they even did a limited run of this picture, that would have been cool as well. But they didn't do any of that. It literally just is a picture. There's nothing special about it. I can just go print copies of it and go sell it if I wanted to. There's nothing special about it. And that was the situation for a lot of other stuff in here. We got a Metals figure, which are fine, but it was limited to the Hulk. A lot of things in here were of Hulk book. We got some soda and a little pop figure of Groot. So all stuff that was fine, but nothing that was really amazingly special. There was nothing that really stood out. The comics were the only thing that were exclusive, and for a $50 box, they really got to bring more than that. It'd be fine if this was a cheap, like, $20 box. It wouldn't matter that much, but since you're spending that much on it, they really got to bring it more. And they really should have more exclusives at this point. I understand they wouldn't for the first box, but now that they've been around for a few months, I feel like more money should be coming in and more exclusives should happen. Also, on the shirt, it's another Stan Lee shirt, which is fine. Stan Lee's cool, but the whole point of this box, I thought it was supposed to be more curated by Stan Lee and not Stan Lee stuff. The information card's fine, but now that we've gotten like 3 or 4 shirts in a row with Stan Lee's face on there, I think they can switch it up a little bit. They could just have designs that are picked out by him. That's what I thought it was leaning more towards, and that's what the rest of the box is. It seems more curated by Stan Lee. Who knows if it actually is, but that's supposed to be the concept. We don't need shirts with his face on it every single month. They can change it up a little bit, or just don't include the shirt in there, because we get enough shirts in all the boxes anyway. So, the main problem with this, it was just way too generic, and it didn't hold that much value. The only thing that had any value was the exclusive covers, and they really didn't go for that much, like 15 a piece. And again, the art print and the picture, if they had any sort of limited run or signature, it would have been worth tons, but since they don't, it's pretty much worthless. It's only worth what the paper it's printed on. And they had like a soda in there, which like, I don't even know if I want to drink that. Who knows where this box has been, how long it's sat in the sun, I have no idea. And the Metals figures is just really average stuff. So I was really hoping they get more exclusives, and I haven't seen it. So I think I'm going to give them 1 more month, and if they don't start showing some initiative, I'm going to have no choice but to cancel. I'm not going to pay $50 a month for 2 exclusive comics. It's just not worth it. It's not worth the money, and the stuff they picked out this month just really wasn't that great, so there was nothing special about it. I was overall very disappointed. So yeah, that's why it gets last place. It's just costing a little too much. Alright, next. Number 8. Nerd Block Classic. So this one I'm having a rough time trying to keep around as well. I've always been a fan of the Nerd Block company, but they've been slowly getting worse. And you know, I'm not a big fan of their business practices, to be quite honest. They've always been up to weird stuff. They've always done shady shit on the down low and always kind of screwed customers over left and right, and they have no customer loyalty whatsoever. They have a referral program, but it's total garbage, and I'm not a big fan of their company, but that didn't really matter because I like their products, and lately their products haven't been great. They've been good because they've been giving all exclusive stuff, which is good, that's definitely what you want, but the stuff they pick out isn't really that great. So here's just a quick overview of what they had in there. First of all, they had some Deadshot whiskey glasses, which were cool, but they didn't give them to us. Apparently they were broken when they arrived in their shipping facility, and that's why the box was late, and this just came 2 days ago. So this is usually the first box to come. It came almost 40 days late. And I had to even contact them, because I'm like, yo, where's my box? And they've contacted me back. So instead, we got a random pint glass, which is fine, but nothing really special about it. Something I thought was funny, they had Sex Panther cologne, which is from Anchorman, and which is really funny, but the part that sucks is the bottle doesn't look anything like it does in the movie. I think the whole point of it was it's kind of supposed to be like a prop replica in a way. I don't know if anyone's really going to like the scent specifically. I'm sure it smells like ass, But I can't imagine why if they were going to put it in there, why they wouldn't make it look like they did in the movie. They just took an average looking bottle and just printed the word Sex Panther on there, and like everyone gets the reference, but it looks nothing like that bottle. So why is that still funny? It would have been the same as having a shirt that just said Sex Panther on it. Like, we get the reference, but why not make it look like that? It seemed like a missed opportunity, and that made it just like a random bottle of cologne. Like, there was nothing special about it. And again, I'm sure it smells like a bag of asses. Then we got suspenders, which were supposed to look like the Joker, but all they were Argyle. All they were some like diamond pattern, and they were green and purple, which are the Joker's colors, but that's not really anything special. I feel like you'd find those in like cheap like dollar store, thrift stores with just cheap Argyle pattern. There's nothing really special about it enough to say like, you know, I'd really want those suspenders. Suspenders are fine. I'm sure some people can pull them off, but I don't think they're for everyone. I think only certain people can pull off the suspender look, and they're just not different enough looking to really merit anything in there. So they just look like random suspenders. If I wore them, I don't think anyone would ever put two and two together and be like, oh, are those Joker suspenders? So again, just too average. And then we had a shirt in here that was from James Bond, but the design on it was just really crappy. It just looked really dumb. It looked like someone did it in Photoshop, just like some amateur work, and it just didn't look good at all. It wasn't a good design. And then there was an art print in there which was decent, but not signed or numbered. And then a pin from The Godfather, which is like, seems a little out of place in this, but you know, whatever. But the pin was the only thing that looked decent. So overall, just not a good box, not good choices, not good value, not good resale value, not good franchises. The box arrived late. The things that were in here didn't actually appear in there, so it's like there's just nothing really good about it. And it hasn't been too good lately. I already canceled my arcade block when they changed it to gamer block, so all I have left is the classic and the comic, and they haven't been doing too good. So I may end up canceling them too, because there's so many reasons I don't like the Nerd Block company, and I'm just trying to grasp on to why I should keep them around, other than the fact that I've just had them for so long, and they're such a big company. But, you know, we'll see. Alright, let's see. Number 7, the BAM Box. Mouth is getting dry. Now, the BAM Box didn't do so good this month, but it's not entirely their fault. So they did let us know that something, they had problems getting an item in there, which happens a lot with box companies. The Nerd Block company, same thing. They order something and some license gets canceled or something arrives broken. So it's different for them when they order like 10,000 of something and they arrive damaged. They can't just go return them. It's a whole process. So it happens to box companies, and we understand that. That's what happened to the BAM Box. That's why it arrived so late. The unfortunate thing about it is they didn't put a replacement item in there. They said on the little description paper that they will put an item in June's box, but that's 2 months away. So I'm glad they're making up for it, but what about those people that just got this one box to try out? What if they're not going to keep it for 2 or 3 months? Then they don't get anything extra. Then the people that got this kind of just got screwed because there was only 4 items in here. They were good items. Nothing wrong with any of them. I definitely liked them all. I liked everything in there. I thought the print was cool. A little bottle opener was badass. We got a signature from Sabretooth. And then we got the Kabuki Man pin. So I really liked everything in here. I think this would have been a really great box. It's just unfortunate circumstance that an item was missing, and that brings it lower on the countdown because that brings the value down, so on and so forth. So this does get lower on the countdown, but I wouldn't say it's a strike against the company per se, because I don't think this is an example of how they run their business. Normally the boxes are good, normally they have good value, so I wouldn't base it too much on that. So I've always had faith in this company. They've done great products, and like I said, I liked everything in here. It's just without the extra missing item, it kind of all crumbles beneath it. So the good news is, if you're keeping it around, June's box will be extra badass, and I'm sure May's box will be just fine too. But like I said, sometimes someone's dealt a shit hand, and sometimes business goes awry, and that's just kind of what happened. The BAM Box got a shit deal, or whatever happened to happen. I don't know the full story, but you know, shit happens sometimes. It's a bummer, but usually they're much higher on the countdown, so I still would recommend this box if it were just me personally, but this month, unfortunately, it didn't do as good as it could have. So there you go. Alright, number 6. The collector's case. So, I like the collector's case. They always have fun stuff in there, and I've noticed that's kind of what they have going for them. Their case is fun. It always has interactive stuff in there. A lot of it's game stuff. It's collectibles as well, but this one definitely had some game stuff. We had some HeroClix in there, which I like HeroClix. I don't play the game, but you can see behind me, I always put them on display because I think they're cool. And they had some convention exclusive ones in there, and they always seem to have some kind of card game or some kind of dice game in there. And we got some different die in here as well, and we got a lot of stuff from like Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, which was cool. So it's all fun stuff. It's fun to do, it's fun to play with. The only downside to it is you don't see a lot of exclusive stuff in here. One thing they do is they do have signatures from famous people, which is really cool. That is obviously exclusive to the box, and they're really special, but not everyone gets those. But you do get the opportunity, and I believe last time I checked the odds are only 1 in 10, which are pretty good odds. But other than that, it's still really fun stuff in here. It's just, a lot of it's not super collectible. It's like average collectible stuff. So we got a Titans figure, and like I said, some HeroClix, which a lot of people like, and a lot of people definitely collect, but it's not going to be like super rare, expensive stuff most of the time. But it's still really fun, and it's still worth the money. You still usually get around double what you paid for, which is good, but just know if you're looking for like really rare, exclusive stuff, it's not necessarily it. I was fortunate enough, however, to get an exclusive signature, so I'm really happy about that. So, what was his name? Yeah, I can't remember his name now. What does it say? Sean Astin, sorry. I actually have met him before. I met him at Comic-Con one year. I didn't get a signature at the time, so I got it now. Maybe I'll just mend the stories together. But he was from Goonies and obviously Lord of the Rings, so I really liked that. I thought that was cool. So he's someone well-known, so I'm really happy I got that. So I think that's still really cool. It's something to look forward to. If you get the box, oftenly, month after month, you're bound to get a signature eventually because the odds are pretty good in your favor. And they do get pretty well-known people. Not like the most famous, but definitely when you see their picture, you'll remember who it is. So that's something I really liked about it. And I've gotten a few good signatures from this box, so I'm really happy about that. And like I said, everything else in here is really fun and interactive and playful, and it also has some cool collectibles as well. So I'd still recommend this, but just things you should know, not super high-priced collectibles. So there's that. Alright, number 5. Right in the middle. Comic block. One that I keep hoping will be good, and it was good for a short minute, and now it's kind of, not bad, I wouldn't say it's bad by any means, but it's kind of reverting back to its old self. So the original comic block, if you remember, was a very small, just $20 box. It was cheaper, and it was just comics and a shirt. Then they evolved it into this bigger box because they said they wanted to have more comic-style collectibles, which is what I want. I want a comic book-themed box. Comics in it is fine, but not all comics. There's too many other companies that do that, and honestly, if I want comics, I'd rather have graphic novels if I'm going to read it, so comics are fine, but I like collectibles as well mixed in there. That was supposed to be the point of this box, and it did that for a very short while, but now it's kind of going back to it. This month was all comics and a shirt. The good news is it's exclusive comics, so that's something that I've told them personally they should do, and they've listened to, which is good, that they should not waste their time with average comics, go through the trouble to get exclusives, which is cool. The only problem is the ones they get exclusive covers for are very lesser-known comics. Like, we got one from LARP, we got one from North, Riverdale, The Sovereigns, and Night Guardians of Relativity. I haven't heard of any of those. I'm sure they're cool comics, I'm sure they're really great, but it's kind of outweighing itself. So it's either like average comics from well-known franchises or exclusive comics from really little-known franchises. So it's kind of a lesser two evils situation, but it's not really any better. And we usually get an art print like Nerd Block has been doing, which I appreciate, but still it's not limited to any number, it's not a limited run, and it's not signed or anything like that. So it holds no value, it's just cool pictures. And then we got a shirt, which was Deadpool, which was, it was a cool shirt, but I don't want all comics. I want a mixture of comics and collectibles, and a short shirt is fine, but I don't need all comics. And especially with all these lesser-known franchises, when you're only getting one issue of a brand new franchise, it's hard to get into it. How do you get into it after one issue? That's why I said if I want to read new franchises, I'll get other boxes I know that give graphic novels, so you can at least get into the story and decide whether or not you like it. I'm glad they do number ones, but it's so hard to judge a whole series based on one, and it's a lot of trouble to go through and collect individual issues, and it's like, and they were doing collectibles for a while, they were exclusive, so I hope this isn't what they're doing permanently. Honestly, I'd be fine if they did 1 or 2 comics, exclusive covers, but did better known franchises, a better, like, quality over quantity type of thing, and then did some collectibles and a shirt. Like a few collectibles, like 2 or 3, and then a shirt. I think that would be perfect. I'd really like that. And they did for a while, and then now they're kind of not doing it. So the good news is it still kind of holds value, but less and less so as time goes on because they're getting lesser known franchises. So right now, it's fine. Like I said, it's in the middle. There's nothing wrong with it. It's comic block, so comics are more than welcome. People will like it. It's just, it's getting less value. It's getting lesser known franchises. It's less collectible. So I see it going on the decline, and that's why it might just go away. But who knows? So I'm always keeping them around for at least a little while because I know companies kind of waver like that. But I hope it picks back up and does a little more on the collectible side because I know I would like to see that. I know a lot of other people would like to see that as well. Anyway, that was number 5. How are we doing on time? Getting close. Alright, number 4. The Loot Crate. So, Loot Crate in general, I've always said, very odd choices. They always pick very odd stuff. This month, not so much. But we got some really cool stuff in here. We got a mug, which you'll see all the time in boxes. You're always going to see mugs. They're always giving out mugs left and right. A heat change mug, which is cool. They always give a good pin. And then we got fucking pencils. Like, who gives a flying fuck about pencils? But we got some pencils. And a shirt. But we got one cool collectible, which is a Q-Fig. So they do have a partnership with Quantum Mechanics, which is awesome because I love Quantum Mechanics. Q-Figs and Q-Pops are really cool. They do an amazing job. I'm always happy to see these. And it's always cool when we get exclusive ones. I think this is exclusive. It doesn't say, but they've done that before where it didn't say exclusive and it was. But anyway, Jessica Jones, not my #1 choice of collectible figure because she looks pretty average, but it's still a really cool figure nonetheless. And it comes with a base and a cool little scenery, so that's the funny thing about Loot Crate. They only really need to put in like one good item to make it worth it. Because a lot of other stuff is kind of crappy, like the pencils. Like, who gives a shit about pencils? And the mug is cool, but it's like, how many mugs do you really need, honestly? But, you know, it's such a cheap box, it's kind of hard for it to ever go wrong. This is only 20 bucks, and with their $5 off referral program, you refer 2 or 3 people, and the box is practically free. So it's just so hard to go wrong with it. So even their worst of boxes are still totally worth it. So, not the best choices. Like I said, they pick a lot of weird stuff to put in there, but it's almost impossible for them to do a bad job because they do it on such a cheap price. And they've been around probably, as far as I know, they've been around the longest of all these companies, and they have the best partnerships. They used to have them with Funko. I don't think they do anymore. They have them with Quantum Mechanics and a bunch of other companies that are really cool, so you often get really good exclusives. So I really like the Jessica Jones figure. Everything else in there I could pass on, but honestly, that one figure made the box worth it. So it's kind of, everything else is just a surplus from there. So if this always gets pretty high in the countdown, even though it's usually not that amazing of a box, because you just get tremendous value. It's really hard to go wrong. So there you go. Number 4, classic Loot Crate. Number 3. Number 3 was a new box this month. And that was the Disney Treasures. And the Pirates Cove was their first box. I'm fuzzy on the exact month this was supposed to be. I'm calling it an April box. I think they did 2, but it opened in March. It was kind of a weird thing. I don't know if they're going by the exact month, but I'm calling it April, so whatever. I thought this is really cool. I think this is something that Funko, I would have assumed this would have been one of the first boxes they created, but it's actually the 4th. Excuse me. But I think something that people have wanted for a long time. I mean, Disney was like one of the original collectibles. So Disney stuff is so collectible. That's where the term Disney Mania comes from. It's very, very collectible stuff, no matter how new or old it is. And people go crazy for Disney shit. I'm not even that much of a Disney fan myself, but I've always liked Disneyland, and I like some of the characters, but I actually really like this box. The only reason it didn't do that great on the value is because they didn't pick some super well-known characters. Like, Smee is well-known, but I can't imagine a ton of people wanting him. And they got a little Dorbs ride, which was cool, but the character in there is from the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. And that's the original one here in California. So a lot of people don't know that character. If you're from literally anywhere else, you probably don't recognize that character. And I'm from here and I didn't even recognize the character. So lesser known characters there, so that's why it didn't do so great on the value. But they always have like fun facts on here, which I think is really cool. And they make a little thing here where the patches are apparently going to fit together after a year, which is exciting. That's something to look forward to. And, you know, whether you hate Disney or not, you still recognize most of the characters. And they did a really good job. Like, little minute details like making it look like a map and little fun facts and concept designs. I really liked it. The only reason it got a little bit lower and not #1 was because of the value. Like I said, the pop or the figures and the characters just weren't the most well-known. They could have picked more well-known characters, and I'm sure they will, but, you know, maybe not. Maybe Disney's pushing their lesser-known characters. Who knows? But the good news is it's all exclusive, and I liked it. I thought it was a fun box, and I'm pretty excited to see what they do for their next box. So I personally really enjoyed it, but, you know, it's kind of up to you what you think. And it's hard to get a feel of this box just based on one, so we'll get a better idea when we see the next one, what direction they're going to go in. If they're going to stick to Disney parks stuff, I'm fine with that, but I know a lot of other people wouldn't be because so many people don't live near a Disneyland park, but, you know, that's just me. So I was very pleased by it. I liked it a lot, and I kept everything in there. So there you go. #3, Disney Treasures. All right, #2. One that is always high in the countdown. One of my favorite boxes and favorite companies, Lootaku. Box got a little bit dented. That's okay. This one was With Great Power was the theme. We got a really badass Spider-Man statue, which I like. This is something I love about this company. We get bigger stuff. We get statues and collectibles that are like high grade, stuff you definitely don't see in American boxes. The biggest stuff we see in America is like pop rides. We don't have much statues here that are affordable enough to fit in boxes. That's more of a Japan thing or an Asian thing. So we see that, and we got a cool Spider-Man one. Very nice in detail. Very cool statue. I loved it. And then we got a little pop figure of Vegeta, which, you know, didn't really cost anything, but I thought it was really cool. We also got an Ocarina, and what is it about Ocarina showing up in boxes? This is literally like the 4th Ocarina I've gotten from monthly subscription boxes. Is there some weird new wave of Ocarinas coming back into the mix? Am I missing something here? I think it's just a very odd item to have in multiple boxes. But the one they put in here was of decent quality. This one is the only one I'd say is fitting, though. This is an Ocarina from The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. That's where I know the word Ocarina from, so it's so weird that I have 3 other Ocarinas that have nothing to do with Ocarina of Time. So this is the only time where I would say, okay, it's merited. It's from something specifically. Because we got one in like the Stan Lee box where it's like, why? And we got other ones too where it was just so weird to have it. This one, I get it. Legend of Zelda, that makes sense. We also got stuff from One Punch Man and some little Zelda shield pins. So this one usually gets the #1 spot because it's really great. This one was a little bit lower on value this time. You definitely got more than you paid for. You got decent value, but they usually are a little bit higher than that. It's not always double your value because it's so expensive, but this one was a little bit lower, just a smidge. So that's why it didn't get the #1 spot. And I really like the statue. I wasn't a huge fan of some of the other stuff. I've heard good things about One Punch Man. I've been meaning to check it out. I haven't yet, but it was just a plush figure, so it wasn't anything super incredible, but it was still really cool. I don't think I've ever been displeased with this box. It does cost a lot, so it is on the pricey side, but I don't think you'll ever be disappointed. It's geared towards anime, video games, things like that, so keep that in mind. But if you're interested in that stuff, this is definitely the best one to go with. It's unlike anything else here in America. It's stuff that's, a lot of it's exclusive to either Japan or Hong Kong or somewhere in Asia, stuff that we can't get here unless it's imported, so it's really cool stuff, and it's always special. Every time I open it, I'm surprised. I'm seeing stuff I've never seen before, which is a big deal for someone like me, so I'm always very happy with this box. The only problem is you have to be able to afford it. It is monthly and it is on the expensive side, but if you can afford it, I think you'll really like it. And if you talk to anyone out there, people will say in the comments, I don't think I've ever heard anything negative about Lootaku in general. They've always done a great job, good customer service, and they always work on bringing their price point down, so they do really great on that. So that's really awesome. And I gotta switch my battery. I'm about to run out of time. 1 second. Sorry about that. Battery was running low, had to change it out. Like I was saying, Great box, Lootaku. It's always usually in the top 3, if not the number 1. I've never disappointed with it. It's really special. They have a lot of cool stuff in there. So if you're in the means, you like anime stuff and collectibles, definitely check them out, or at the very least watch some videos and see what you might like out of there. So really great stuff. And they do get some exclusive stuff in there too. So really, really cool. So the number 1 spot. One we haven't seen the number 1 spot in a very long time. And that was Marvel Collector Case. As you can see, mine is quite damaged. Not the company's fault. I'd like to blame it on them, but it wasn't. Pup actually found the box before I could, and for some reason, he chose this box. So many boxes I get every month, but he just had a vendetta against Baby Groot, I guess. He just had to kill it. And I heard this noise, and I had to go investigate. And of course, he murdered the shit out of my box. Luckily, nothing was damaged, though. But you know, I really enjoyed this box, and they actually took some of my advice on things they could do. Because part of the problem I had with this box and a lot of the other ones this company's done, it was just so pop heavy. Everything was pop. We got pop figures, the pins and patches were pop face, and then the comic had pop figures on it. So this one still is pop heavy, but they balanced it out a little more, which I really liked. So the shirt had the pop figure design on it, which I was fine with, but it was okay because this came before the movie was released, so I got to wear that to the premiere, which was cool. And then we got a Dorbs ride, which I thought was really badass too. I like it when they put the rides in there because the normal Pops and Dorbs are cool, they just get boring after a while. So I like it when they do a special ride or a Pop Deluxe or something like that. So I really like the Pop ride. Or the Dorbs ride. I thought it was really cool. I know a lot of people don't like Dorbs as much, but I thought the ride was really badass and I liked it a lot. Then we did get a Pop figure, but it was of Rocket and Groot. So it wasn't, excuse me, technically 2 figures, but it was 2 in 1, so I thought that was really cool. I love Rocket. He's one of my all-time favorite characters, and it had the Baby Groot on his back, so I thought that was really cool and really special. And then the comic cover, too, I really liked the cover. I really liked the design of it. I thought someone did a really good job. And normally they do the goofy pop design ones, but they did just a normal comic cover design, which was nice to see because they haven't done that in so long. So I really liked the design on that too. And the patch and pin didn't look like pop figures, they looked more realistic. So it was a good balance. It wasn't just pop stuff. We got the shirt looked like it, which I don't think they should always do pop designs on the shirt either. They should mix it up with regular comic designs. We got that in the figure, but the comic book is different, Dorbs was different, patch and pin were different, so I feel like they had a good balance. And I really liked everything in here. And I liked everything in here before I saw the movie, which was great, by the way. I think everyone enjoyed it, and I think you'll like it if you see it too. They did a very good job. I liked the movie. I liked everything in here. It was a good balance. They got a good mix of characters. They made sure they got everyone. The only one that wasn't in here was Drax, which, you know, is unfortunate, but, you know, whatever. And they could have done some of the newer characters, like they could have done, like Mantis or Ego or something like that, but they got the basic ones. And this one was way better than the first Guardians box. The first Guardians box kind of sucked. It was a Christmas box. We got a stupid scarf, and then we got like the ornaments. It really sucked. It was probably one of their worst boxes. So this one was way better than that, and it was a good change of pace. They balanced it out with Funko versus classic comic style, so they had a good mix. I think everything in here was good. I think I'm keeping everything in there. It was all very enjoyable, and from what I've heard, everyone else liked it too. It had good value. It had good variety. So all around, this was just a well put together box. And you know, it wasn't spectacularly amazing, nothing blew my mind, but it was just good. It was very well balanced, well thought out, and it looked like they'd taken some advice and put thought into this box. So I very much liked it, and I kind of haven't liked this box for a while, but yeah, I like this one. And I'm just saying the next one will be Spider-Man Homecoming, which I'm psyched about too, so I hope there's some Iron Man, Spider-Man crossover stuff in there because I love Iron Man and I'm very excited for that movie. So yeah, that took the #1 spot, and it hasn't been #1 since I think like the original box, which is like 2 years ago. So I'm happy that this one did a really good job. So I'm excited to see the next box too. I think that one will be good as well. Alright, so that was the countdown. I hope this helped you in some way. I hope this helped you find the best box for you, whatever you may like. I hope this showed what your interest may be, and it may help you pick stuff out a little bit. Because that's what this channel is all about, helping you find good stuff. And I have more stuff to come. I'm going to record more of the collecting advice videos. I actually recorded some before I got sick, and I haven't had time to edit it yet. So more of those to come. I want to help you guys out, do some more reviews of collectibles, and also I'm participating in a box swap with Johnny Tellez and a bunch of other YouTube channels. We're doing a big box swap thing, and that's going to be airing on May 31st, I think is our date. So my box is going to the Border Geek, and you're definitely going to want to check that video out because I put some really cool stuff in there. And I forget who sent me a box. It should be here any day now, but I'll be doing a personal unboxing, so I'm glad to be doing some cross-channel promotion. I haven't done it in a long time, so I'm really excited to be a part of that. So that's something to look forward to as well. And be sure to enter the giveaway this one and the following month. Post some links, share some links with me, guess the birthday, whatever you want to do, enter both at the same time. Totally up to you. Other than that, let me know what you guys want to hear, what you guys want to see, thoughts, opinions. Now that I'm back in the mix, I'm happy to be back. It's been a long month, so got to rebuild this garage too. Shit's falling off the walls. Anyway, let's talk about it in the comments. Let's get this community back going again. I'm happy to be back. So thank you all so much for supporting everything. Love you all. Have a good night. Peace.